welcome to the den for this very special unboxing. I was actually going to record something different aside because I'd finished some other bits I was going to put on, but this arrived on the doorstep today and I thought I'd share it with you. It's as in the title, the unboxing of Kingdom Death Monster 1.5. For those of you that haven't or don't know what Kingdom Death Monster is and you're into the board game community, this is, you must have been living in a cave for some period of time. I think I'm right in saying that it was the biggest Kickstarter ever to date of a board game. It raised over $12 million. X amount of people. It has a huge cult following. It's an amazing game. I did have the version 1 which I sold on, and Kickstarter was launched at the beginning of the year, and I managed to get in, and I've got some other pledges still to come from all the add-ons. But this is the core box set, and an absolute amazing game, and we're going to go ahead and do an unboxing of a 1.5 Kingdom Death Monster. So away we go with the unboxing of Kingdom Death Monster. A little bit of damage on the outside of these packets. They do say that they're double cored, and I believe there's some extra packing inside, and when you think that this game, just the core set was like $300, it's a significant financial investment. So before I break all the seals and everything like that, I'm happy to have a quick look. It's a massively weighing game. I'll just have a look on the side. It actually weighs in at a let's have a look on here. There's a weight on the pack, 9 kilos. 9 kilo game in there. So once again, always nice and careful with the Stanley knife. Give it a quick nip across there, lift it up at the edges. Okay, my puppy's crying downstairs. I do. So first thing is some sort of card filler there going in, and I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, so it's had foam back in. I think in the version 1 they got slated for the condition of the boxing. Now when you're paying this sort of money for a game, it is a collectible item. There's no reason, I mean, this won't go out to retail for quite some period of time, so it's only Kickstart backers that'll have it now. I don't know when they're intending retail. They've still got all the waves of other things. They will become available, but they'll also come very collectible. So they're only going to be producing so you'll be able to have Kickstarter 2, Kickstarter 3. So it's going to be some time that, because the Kickstarter's content runs right about through to, I think it's 2020. Could be the last part of the wave program that's going in, so you could be looking at 2-3 years before they even run another version of the core box set. So let's go ahead and try and get this beast out. We can actually, there is some slack in there. Oh, right, take it as another way to do this. Okay, so get that box put away. Get that out of the way. Excellent. Okay. So get that packing out the way. To start with, good, nice, sturdy box there. No real damage. Once again, not a great deal of change to the design. Okay, nice mirror on the back, all shrink wrapped, but that's the logo for you that comes out on the camera that you're looking for. Kingdom Death Monster. So we'll get straight in and break the seal. Okay. Beautiful box this. It really is a you know, such a, it's an amazing game as well. But it all leaves its quality, and there's such a cult following to this. I couldn't believe it. I mean, you know, I think it was something ridiculous, like the top end package for the Kickstarter was somewhere in the region of $2,000, pledging into elements of game that hadn't even been designed yet. That's how much they were confident that the developer was going to come up with the goods. So, shrink wrap off. Up where she comes. Oh yes. So beautiful. So the first thing we're going to see on there is the lift out for the miniatures. It is a miniatures game. So we'll just park that off to one side. And here is all the miniatures. And hopefully you can just see that there. It's sealed on there, so we'll break the seal on there. Now there are miniatures on here that do need building. There's a really good website that you can go to. It's actually on there, buildkingdomdeath.com. There are a couple of others that will show you how to actually put the miniatures together, which is really good because they can be a little bit fiddly. And so there are all the packs of our miniatures, and we might do a follow-up video where we show the miniatures in there, but I won't start getting all this out because it will be an absolute nightmare to put back in. Huge amount of miniatures for this game. 1.5 does come with an extra boss and some other characters and bits and pieces, so it's, you know, it's sort of clearly different from the first one, so that'll be great. We'll be building those and painting those very soon. And now we come into the player boards. This particular board wasn't mounted in the first edition, but it's mounted now, so we have a mounted hunt board, and the game itself is all about building a colony and surviving and going, you know, it's a battle game. So let's have a look. So we have the cards. Once again, nice card stock. I haven't broken into that, but that will be all the counters and everything. In fact, we'll just crack that open now, just for you guys. Let's just see, do you want any? Very gently along the seam. I think when you've paid what you've paid and waited, and knowing how this game won't be reprinted any day soon, and this will be your only probably chance to get a copy. I'll imagine once it goes on, if it goes on Kickstarter again, but you know, you'll be flooded. I mean, the previous version copies were fetching ridiculous money, up to £1,000, because it was so rare and so collectible. And I think if you'd just sold one for £1,000 and then the Kickstarter was announced, you'd probably rub it in your hands. If you just bought one, the version 1, and paid £1,000, you would have been very upset. They did do a 1.5 add-on kit, which was pretty reasonable. And there's a nice Kickstarter package, the stretch goals like coming through. So there we have game tokens, lovely artwork, beautiful artwork on there, and parts for the map, things that go on the map, player board, very nice. And there we have our various re-roll tokens and our settlement phases and things, cards. That's nice. Now we'll come to, this will be the player board. Once again, this has been shrink wrapped as well. I'll leave that open, but that player board, oh no, let's crack it open for the viewers. Okay, I'll tell you. Quite concerned I make a bit of a wrong move and cut the wrong thing, so I'm just going to pick at it very, very carefully. So we'll undo the shrink wrap. They did hold up the Kickstarter on the basis that he wanted to shrink wrap bits and pieces. I'm not 100% sure why you want to hold it up to shrink wrap, perhaps the thought of, because I don't know what difference it would have made whether it was plain or whether it had come through shrink wrap, but that's what they wanted to do. And there is the I don't think people can see that too well, so let me just get that on the box out of the way. This is the player board. This is where all the action takes place with the monsters and people that you have to fight and kill and get their bones and turn the bones into different things. So absolutely, it's one of a kind game, it really is. I love playing it. It was and there's our another tracker card there to go on there. So then we get into the meat of the game. We have player pads for tracking your colony and you know, the people in your colony, so we have those. We then have each survivor has its own individual sheet. Now you do actually make up folders. I might just do a follow-up Kingdom Death, you know, how we pimp the game and how we, you know, lay out the sheets, because there is a lot of maintenance to this game. So once again, more settlement sheets that you keep going. It's a very intensive game from a point of view of admin to keeping up. But that's just one of the beauties of the game. There is a lot to follow along. Now, this was what was promised, and this looks very, very nice. I mean, the original book, the original rule book, was nicely put together. However, it was sort of a big floppy book. Now, on this version, it comes in a beautiful hardback. Just move that out of the way. Look at that. That's a rule book. Okay, lovely artwork. Obviously it's the revised 1.5. The story tells the story. Start from the beginning, start from nothing and work your way through. It really is. That is so nice. It's such a lovely, it's almost like a coffee table book. I've never seen a rule book as high quality as that. It's really good. So what else have we got in the thing? Well, we have lots of cards. It's all about building up your characters and getting hold of items and improving your settlement as you go on. So there's lots of cards there for upgrading. Now, like I say, we do put these in special little folders, and I'll show you that. But from this case on here, we have the beautiful card stock. All the different monsters have their own different traits. It's hard to explain what the game is, but please go online and have a look. So, huge amount of card stock to keep hold of. All these will need sleeving. I sleeve everything to do with that, so they'll all need sleeving. Dice. So a couple of changes in there. So we got all the player dice there. Then we come down to the different cards that determine your path as you go through the game. Dividers, so all the dividers here for laying out all the cards. They did actually say there's a much sturdier tray, which it does seem that this case. They got a bit of a slating last time for the tray. It sort of ended up crap, but I've got to say, from what I remember for the first version, this is in gear cards for dividers, and that's economic. And you do need organisation with this game, absolutely. It's one of those games where there's a lot of housekeeping to do and tracking to do, and that is the charm of the game. And there's a lot to do. So as we add all the add-on monsters and everything like that, and all those sort of things, this will just get full. And it really is quite a cool thing to be doing, keeping you very, very busy. Okay, so there's a nice upgraded tray. That's absolutely beautiful. Once again, we're going to be looking at this. So there we have. But I think one of the winning part of this version, to me, from the point of view of change, is that beautiful rule book. Absolutely beautiful hardbound. Absolutely gorgeous. So that was a Kingdom Death Monster quick unboxing. If you've got one out there, you know what I'm talking about. If you're looking to get one now. I'm sure there's people selling them off a little bit cheaper than they'll be in a few months. But please look up Kingdom Death Monster and see what you're missing. Absolutely fantastic game. Hope you've enjoyed that little unboxing. I'm going to have to put it all back now. And until next time, thanks for watching.